Hey guys, I'm back, I'm in the kitchen, and you may hear Mickey Mouse in the background and some kiddos, but that's okay because that's real life, right? We are going to just truck on through even with the kiddos today and their little noises, which is fine because that's how it goes, right? You can't have uninterrupted prep time without kids. That's just not real life. So today I'm doing it with the kids. They're all awake. I have no idea what's gonna happen. I just wanted to hop on here. Happy Halloween. First of all, it's Halloween. And I'm prepping pumpkins. So last night my husband carved pumpkins with the kids. Thank goodness. That is not my thing. That's not my specialty. He does it every year with them, and it's perfect because I'm way too OCD. There's gotta be some moms out there like that. I'm too OCD. It's ugly, there's too much, they just make a mess of it, and I want it perfect. And so pumpkin carving is not my thing, that's my husband's thing, and he does it with them all the time, every year. So what we do though is we reap the benefits. As he carves them, he saves me my seeds, my pumpkin seeds, and I'm gonna roast these. So I actually keep all of that. Obviously carved pumpkins, we give the inner guts to the chickens, but I mean, they're for a jack-o'-lantern, so you're not gonna be eating those. But I do have all these fun decorative pumpkins that I buy. I mean, let's be serious. We pay a lot of money for our pretty Pinterest porch pumpkins, okay? And this year, we are starting out on new land. We have, we're gonna have a big garden this next year. And so, here they are. And so, I went ahead and just bought all the pretty pumpkins I wanted because I had a plan. And what I'm gonna do basically is just save all of my seeds so that I can plant each variety of fun, fancy pumpkin that I want next year in my garden. So rather than spend, you know, the money year after year after year, I'm spending it once, and I'm just gonna save seeds from here on out. So it works with most all pumpkins. Like obviously a lot of them have been genetically modified at this point, but there's a lot of heirloom varieties out there. And actually a lot of the pretty fancy pumpkins are known for their flavor. So they're gonna make your best pumpkin pies. They're gonna be pumpkin butter. You can can them, you can freeze them, you can do all sorts of things with it. And then saving seeds, not all of them, we're gonna roast. I'll put all of the different varieties of pumpkin seeds together and roast a big batch with just some seasoning on it. It's super delicious. And then I've saved some seeds back. And the seeds that I saved back, I'm actually, I'll show you what I'm gonna do with those, but I've separated them out, and to make sure that I remember which seed came from which pumpkin, so that later after they dry and I bag everything up for next year, when I get it out in the summer, I'll know, and I'll have it labeled, I'll know exactly which pumpkin seed I'm dealing with, and that'll let me know exactly what to expect and how much room I need. So, I hope you're enjoying this little video. This is more of just a prep day. All the pumpkin pies and the pumpkin bread and all that stuff will come later. Whoa, okay. That'll all come later. Did you run into it? Come here. So that'll all come later, but today is just prep day. So I'm getting all my seeds separated. I'm getting all my guts to feed to my chickens. And then I'm labeling and drying seeds for planting next year. So I hope you enjoy this short video. So I've went ahead and separated out my pumpkin seeds. The majority will go for roasting and eating, but like I said, I wanted to go ahead and plant some for next year. So what you need to do is make sure that they're fully dried. So the main thing that I do is label each paper towel. I've saved some seeds out. That way I know which seed comes from which plant, so it's clearly labeled. But these are gonna dry for quite a while, probably a week or so. And I like to put them on cookie sheets, that way there's some airflow. I'm going to put these in my pantry. A cool, dark, dry place is best for drying pumpkin seeds. And I will go through and I'll flip them every couple days or so, just to make sure that they're fully getting dry. I've rinsed them with water, so they are clean, they don't have guts on them, so now it's just the drying part. After about a week or so, if they are fully dried, then I will go ahead and put them in paper sacks, label, and put them with the rest of my seeds for next year's garden. So I have roasted my pumpkin for about an hour. This was the pale blue one. It's looking a little green right now. It looks fantastic. Look how beautiful and golden that is. So this is gonna scoop out real easy, and I'm just gonna use a large spoon to pull it away. Put all my guts in my food processor. This is what I will puree it in. Now, there are so many ways that you can or freeze and preserve pumpkin. I'm gonna make some pumpkin butter with some of this. I will freeze some in gallon Ziploc bags that I can pull out of the freezer and thaw anytime for recipes. I'm also gonna make some pumpkin bread fresh. I've got the seeds drying right now so that I can roast those. There's just many, many ways. Now, most of the time when I can pumpkin, I'm going to do it in large chunks. There's a lot of controversy with canning pumpkin. Some people are canning Rebels, and I have done it before, where you can pumpkin puree, but it is pretty dense, and most canning books are going to advise that you can chunks and not the pureed pumpkin, although you can do pumpkin butter and stuff like that, and you're probably thinking, what's the difference? And so am I, but the rules and regulations say, for the most part, don't can the pumpkin puree. So it's easy to do, is just can chunks of it if you're gonna do that. And then you can take it out and puree it and make it fresh for pumpkin pie or whatever you're gonna end up doing. But freezing is another viable option. You can puree it, put it in gallon bags. I like to lay them kind of flat and freeze them, and then they store really, really well in your freezer that way. So we're just dishing all of that out. And look how much I got from just 1/2 of that cute little blue pumpkin, and I still have another half to go. Okay, so I went ahead and used my food processor, and I have made my pumpkin puree. I've got a huge pot of it just from those few pumpkins. So now it's all pureed, and honestly, if you taste this, it's gonna taste like it has sugar in it. I swear to you, it is so delicious. When you get those specialty pumpkins, heirloom especially, those pale blue ones, oh, they make the best pumpkin pie puree. So it just tastes sweet, and it's so good, but there's nothing else in it. It's just purely roasted pumpkin pureed. So what I'm gonna do is I've got my Ziploc bags. This is gonna be my freezing portion. I'm gonna freeze some, and I like to put that like so. This is gonna make it easier to dump in so I don't make a mess. Once I've got that situated and I have it labeled date, I'm gonna go ahead and put 2 cups per bag. And that is because that's about how much a can of pumpkin is going to be. So your average can of pumpkin is going to be about 15 ounces. So 16 ounces would be 2 cups roughly. So I'm going to put about 2 cups of my pumpkin puree into each bag. And that way I know each bag is roughly about what a can of bought pumpkin would be. So if a recipe calls for a 15-ounce can of pumpkin, then your bag of 2 cups will be just perfect for your recipe. And most recipes are going to call for that. Now you can do ice cube trays. You could freeze it that way if you're wanting smaller amounts. There are excellent recipes for a pumpkin syrup. If you're wanting like a pumpkin pancake syrup, there's also pumpkin syrup for coffees if you wanted to do like a coffee pumpkin syrup. So really the options are endless. It is just super fun. So I'm going to take these, I'll put them on a cookie sheet, and I will freeze them flat like this. They will take up hardly any room in my freezer, and they really transfer nicely as they thaw out. It doesn't change the texture, the flavor, or anything. So this is a really good option for saving your pumpkin puree as opposed to canning. If you're not familiar with canning and it seems intimidating and there's extra steps, then just freeze it. It's no big deal. It's super easy to do. It took me, well, the roasting took about an hour, but the actual pureeing and all that, 15 minutes. So it's a really easy, simple step, and this is gonna make amazing pumpkin pie. I will also attach some other recipes of things you might wanna try in the future with your pumpkin puree. All right, so I have finished pureeing my pumpkin, and I ended up with 8 bags, the equivalent of 8 jars of pumpkin. I have some chunks of pumpkin saved that I will actually can. I have 2 cups of puree reserved that I'm actually gonna make bread with this afternoon. I have about 3 trays worth of pumpkin seeds that I'm drying. I will do something with them tomorrow, but I'm gonna let them dry for about 24 hours, and then I'm gonna roast them with just some salt and some pepper, maybe a little garlic powder. It's delicious. And then I also got 5 varieties of pumpkin seeds that I'm drying for about a week, and I will save, store, and plant next year. I utilized every bit of my pumpkin. The scraps will either go to compost or go to my chickens. I feel absolutely no regret about what I spent this year. My porch looked beautiful all season long, and now those pumpkins are being functional. So I love beautiful and function things. So it should be able to do both, and it did. It served as my front porch decoration, and now it's going to serve as my pumpkin pie filling, as well as many other treats. And for years to come, I will use these seeds. When you are searching for seeds and when you're saving seeds to plant, you want to make sure that they're not hybrid, they're not GMO. Look for the heirloom seeds. You're going to want pumpkins that come from a field that's openly pollinated. You're going to have better success with replanting if you do that. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope this just inspires you to get those cute pumpkins off your porch and actually do something with them. I spent a morning, and I actually have so much to show for what I did. So it was a little bit of work in the morning, but my house smells amazing, and I'm going to enjoy my pumpkins for months to come.